Hello guys, my name is Raj. Today I'll be teaching you how to factor and graph this polynomial function right here. So the first thing you always want to do is try to factor the polynomial function. And one of the methods we're going to use today is called grouping. So we break up the polynomial into two sets, as seen in the video, and then we're just going to factor out the greatest common factor. So over this it's going to be 2x, you're left with x squared minus 1, and then for here it's going to be 5, and you're left with x squared minus 1. You know you're doing this right whenever you factor out, what you're left with inside is the same. If it's not the same, then you're doing something wrong. So what you're left with is 2x plus 5 and x squared minus 1. You can still factor this, however, as you see from the difference of squares. So we're just going to break that up into x plus 1 and x minus 1. And what you're left with is the roots of the equation. This is your fully factored form for the polynomial. And now we could graph this. So what you're going to do is you're going to plot the x-intercepts or the roots on the graph. So 1, 0, negative 1, 0, and negative 5 over 2. Okay, and we need to find some other points. So another point you can find is the y-intercept. So we're just going to plug in 0 for the x and see what y value comes out. And as we do that, the y value is negative 5. In most cases, the y-intercept is always going to be the constant. However, you should always just check just to make sure if you're right. So it's going to be negative 5 and 0. And you're going to plot that on the graph as well. Now you're going to look back at the original equation and see the highest degree. And since the highest degree is 3, and the leading coefficient of that is positive, you know that it's going to end up in the quadrants 1 and quadrants 3. Now just begin from one of the quadrants and go towards one of your x-intercepts. When you hit your x-intercept, you look at the multiplicity of that x-intercept. And you see, for negative 5 over 2, the multiplicity is 1. So that means you just go straight through. Then you go towards your next intercept, which is x plus 1, and you see the multiplicity of that. Since it's just 1, then you just go through it. You could go to the y-intercept then, and then you go towards your x-intercept again, and you do the same thing. You look at the x-intercept, you see the multiplicity. Since the multiplicity is 1, you just go through it. Let's just say that the multiplicity was 2. What would you do then? It would bounce off the x-intercept instead of going straight through it as it was here. And now we could also find more points just to be more precise. So let's find negative 2. If x was negative 2, what would y be? And the y value would be 3. So you could place that on your graph as well just to be a little more precise. You could do other points as well, but this should be good enough to graph. Okay, thanks guys, and see you in class. See you.